This is the most mind-blowing pattern of video game addiction that I'm seeing in a lot of guys that I work with. The biggest reason why they're addicted to video games in the first place and why it's so difficult to quit. What I'm seeing in some guys addicted to video games is that they were emotionally neglected as children. Specifically, they had at least one parent, if not both parents, whose emotional needs they needed to satisfy as a child. When you're put in this position, it leaves you with a very deep sense of shame of not feeling good enough, because it is impossible for you to ever satisfy the emotional needs of your parents. When you're finally an adult, you don't know what it's like to have your own wants, your own preferences, your own sense of self, let alone how to assert yourself and set boundaries, because all you've ever known is self-sacrifice. So a few things happen as a result of this. The first is that these guys get addicted to video games because it's the only environment in which they feel safe and comfortable and confident enough to be their own person. They don't know how to go after things in real life, but in a video game, it feels okay because it's anonymous, you're playing through a character that's not you. The second thing is that even if they manage to quit video games, they eventually relapse because they don't know what it's like to care about something for themselves. They've only ever cared about something relative to the validation that it can get them from someone else. If anything, they kind of hate themselves because they've disowned themselves since childhood, which makes it impossible to live any sort of real, meaningful life on their own terms because they don't have it. All this to say, there's a huge overlap between video game addiction and people-pleasing in men, and it's not until these deeply rooted childhood wounds are brought to light and addressed that they will ever get over this problem. If you want help solving this for yourself and finally conquering your video game addiction, DM me on Instagram @ChristianYop, and I'll send you a free training to get you started.